Got a little flag here on the 1 minute. Crazy pump for 105.5 for Bitcoin. Got a crazy. Can we continue this move here? Interesting. We'll be back in a second and break it down. Bam, we have a fun-packed show for you this morning on Sunday. Ready 7 days a week for cryptocurrency. Bitcoin getting a massive pump every single time I show up. We're ripping to 104,660. Made $3,000 last night. I'm going to show you how. I couldn't even believe it. I just got back from Vegas, made $3,000 sitting in my jammies back home. Let me show you how we do it. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every single one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's get that music back up and running. God bless you, beautiful souls here. 104,600. Are we struggling? Funny, I finally took a time to read some crypto Twitter, and it seems there's a lot of fun. A lot of people think this is the end of the rally. It's the end of the bull run. We're on our way further to the downside, and it's time to sell it all. And we have topped out. It's funny, that's what I'm starting to hear and see here, and I think people are starting to believe it. So let's break down BTC. Let me show you what I saw happening this morning. Number one, that's a little bit of a flag here. I gotta have this here with a stop down there. They would continue to pump. At one point, I was like, and I jumped out here, and then it ripped. So I didn't get to catch it. But again, the 1 minute, when you buy, when one candle closes above the 200 MA, and look, there it is again. Just like yesterday morning. It's crazy. Yesterday morning, great created a beautiful move right here with the flag. That's my signal right there. Look, the flag, and then you get above the 200. You buy right there on the 1 minute, and you're gone. Look at this, deja vu. You get above the 1 minute, you're gone. All you have to do is buy when price action gets above the 1 minute time frame. It's insane. The 200 MA. It's insane. It's uninsane. It's insane. I've seen this so many times in my life. It's absurd. Anyway, you can keep doubting me. I'll keep printing money, and we'll get it in. Last night, the same thing happened. 5 minute was breaking the 200 MA last night right here. And boom, we had a beautiful pump to the upside for Bitcoin. Ripped to 104,800 at one point. Even right there, when we got above, there was a nice pump. And Sammy saw that. I saw us like this coming up. 8:40 last night, Saturday night. And I said, man, that looks like a beautiful trade. I said, I think I'm crazy, but I'm going all in. And next thing you know, I look and I'm up 1,300 on this when Bitcoin's at 104,350. And then 3333, and then the thing continued to rip. I sold the Maxi trade for 15, and then this thing continued to go. I ended up taking about $3,000 off the two trades. And it took about, I don't know, like look at 9:48. It didn't take that long. Well, baby, oh, you brush your teeth? You look nice. Keep doing it. You're doing a great job brushing your teeth, sweetheart. Yeah. You're doing a great job. They look great. So here we go. Let's take a look at BTC and see what's happening on the bigger time frames. 104,006. So they flattened some shorts just as we've woken up. So that's the first thing that's happened. And I actually even called along in the trading group. If you put the stop in the exact place where I put it, you'd be up in the gain right now. Actually, I just drew a flag, but that flag interestingly did break to the upside. So look, are they going to take us down though? Usually you pump it up to induce longs, right? Kind of like you dump it to induce shorts. We got to be open-minded. Remember, if you were stuck one way, decided it had to be a certain way, this cycle, you would have gotten wrecked. If you said it has to be short wrecked, it has to be long. But if you stayed open-minded like we do and say, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, I have no idea what's going to happen, and I'm just going to play it one simple day at a time, one step at a time. Take the charts. Like last night, I just took a chart with it doesn't matter where Bitcoin's going. We can make $3,000 a day and Bitcoin could just go up and down all day long. We got to focus on how to make money. That's it. Okay? Long term, of course, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but it's going to be a long road, up and down, like you know it's been. Right? Every time it gives some huge gains, it gives them back. It never doesn't. This is Bitcoin, baby. It's not for everybody because the volatility pushes a lot of people out of the market. 102,500 is a key area now with a lot of longs. The deepest red is usually where we go. That's the deepest area. So it tells me to be, could be some dumpage all the way down to that area. So we got to watch 102.5. We're not out the water yet, and we're not even close to out the water yet, So bless your family, bless you. Thank you. Samly earning them Spirit Airlines SkyMiles. I don't think so. I don't know about you. I didn't know Spirit Airlines. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm on Emirates. I flew Emirates, man. Get out of here. Get this guy out of the chat. Anyway, who cares? Fine. Yeah, I flew Spirit. Whatever you want. I'll stay humble. Even though I flew it one time, I'll never do it again. You know why I would never fly Spirit again? is because I fly JetBlue, period, exclusively, unless I can't get the flight that I want, then I'll have to do something. But I'm a Mosaic member. I fly JetBlue exclusively. All right, so there, that's just number one. Number two, I like JetBlue a lot too. I've always had a good flight. I like that there's entertainment for all my, everyone has their own TV. You know what I mean? Southwest was whatever, man. Still super nice. I'm grateful for everything. The fact that we weren't able to fly like 50, 60 years ago. Flight was just not the same. I'm in such a day and age where technology is just so amazing. It should have been even further than it is now. Shout out to Staz in the house. Emirates to Vegas, JetBlue is bang. Yeah, I flew Spirit, and what they did is, so JetBlue gives me, as a Mosaic member, look at this, JetBlue gives me 2 check bags free. 2. And I bring all these big check bags. And I always got like 50, 60 pounds. Also, JetBlue goes to like 65 pounds or 60 pounds, and the other carriers are 50 pounds. So they add 10 pounds onto the bag, right, and, Southwest charged me for both bags, one over. It was like, I ended up paying more for the bags than I did for the ticket. Ended up being more money than the JetBlue flight. Like, it was a ripoff. You see what I'm saying? You're not even saving any money. They get you on the back end, man. I'm telling you. And they treated me rude. Like, I remember, it was weird, man. Strange behavior by the people working there. Yeah, I would never fly there again for any reason. Never. So, look, there's a bit of a cup and handle. And last night, I got in on this right shoulder. They did get me, you know what I mean? But I risked like $150 for $800 to see, because I made the $3,000. So I was like, I'll take $300 on both exchanges. I'll set the same trade. They did get me right there late at night when I woke up this morning. But then, boom, I saw that there was a move here on the smaller time frame. So just checking out the 1 hour. Can that pump us further to the upside? It doesn't look amazing, though. It's more like a bear flag. You're below the 200 MA. You're going to have to get back above that to remain bullish. The one thing, though, is the 4 hour never broke below. Remember when I told you the trade is still valid? So right now, there's a long that we basically, I've been pushing in the group, and that was like basically here. It's the long that, and to keep the stop below the 200 MA. Now, technically, this wasn't the long I took the scalp this morning. Last night. But, this is technically still in the money. As long as this 200 MA continues to roll, there's a chance that this trade would continue back to the upside. Okay. So our like bullish scenario is that we get this shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. And that takes some time for us to, slowly consolidate into late June. I see sideways, I see some bumps, but I don't see like the next big move coming until later on into the summer, if even is the case, right? You never know. This could also double top, right? And we could dump down through this gap back down to 94,000. Anything could happen, everybody, and I'm going to stay open-minded for you. The reason why you come here, the reason why people love the channel, is because we don't say it's going one way. We say, you know what? I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Let's take a look at the probabilities. Let's see what we've been seeing for the last 5, 6, 7 years here on the channel. And let's take that information into our subconscious mind and look for that exact place that gives us the highest probability. $104,660. It looks like that's all the bulls had for a split second. I'm going to take a break here for the smaller time frames and zoom on out to the weekly as we get ready for tonight in the weekly candle close. Last night was the monthly candle close. It was good, but some stress there. This will be the first red week in a long time. 8 weeks, right? So, and whenever I've seen that, there's been a pullback. Yes, it could be the most bullish time ever in the history of Bitcoin, and we could trend upward into a flag. Okay, these are your bullish scenarios, and we could bounce here. Like we're bouncing on the 4 hour time frame. So see, here's the deal. If the 4 hour loses the 200 MA, that's going to be the incentive and the relationship of the next move down to the 8 hour 200 and then the cascade. That'll let us know that the weekly is likely collapsing further down. You understand? If somehow, some way, this 4 hour stays above the 200 and we get a push at 104.7, Bitcoin holding it down right now. But if Bitcoin can stay above that 4 hour 200, which I should switch back and forth between these pictures just to give you guys like a cool ideal. But if Bitcoin can stay above this 4-hour 200 MA here, okay, it's going to be huge. Like, it means that this weekly could bounce. And that means that we could be in this sideways or upward trending pattern. And we won't have this nasty trend down to the 200 MA and possibly back to 96,000, 98,004, 98.5. Resistance, we broke out. We never really retested this key level, see? 98.5. We may have to come back on the weekly to find out if that's the truth or not. Even 100,000, like a good retest of 100K, and that's the Fibonacci retracement at the 618 is 99. The 786 brings you to 96,900. So you could see us that we get a further pullback to the downside here for Bitcoin, okay? Again, the smaller time frames are going to confirm this. If the 4 hour starts to roll over and we take a nasty dump, we lose this 200 MA and this turns into some type of bear flag, and it's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is happening, just, bang. And we know, like, once this starts to happen, we close a candle below that, that's when we know things are it's over. Look, that's Adam and Eve double top type of vibe. Bearish divvy on the other side. Now you lose the 200, and that's going to be our signal to short the market. Okay. So everyone has an idea of what's happening here for Bitcoin. I would take a picture of this, get this in there, because that would be your Fibonacci retracement. And those are your ideas here. So here, 104.4, you could clearly see is previous resistance. Can the weekly candle close above it? And can the next candle start to rip up green? If we close, we'll open and immediately close red. I've seen that. Likely will be red for the moment. Like this one. You immediately close red, you're red. You immediately close red, you're down. Here, you immediately close red, and it just open red, after you close, and then you open red, and you're just done. Right? That one actually started up and gave you, So, does it look amazing for Bitcoin away from the 21? Indicators getting a little high. They could be higher, and a bearish div here. A strong bearish div on Bitcoin as well. So, yeah, you gotta take this into account that there could be definitely a 6 to 8 week pullback. Is this the end of the rally completely, like some people are saying? I have to be honest, there's a chance it could be, because this is how the end of a rally would look. You'd have bullish, bearish div on a very big indicator like this on the weekly, which is very rare, even though we actually just had it. The crazy thing is we just had it here and we bounced back from it. But sometimes they make one false top to pull everybody back into the market. There's not a lot of here. Maybe they're doing everything they can to get everything they can, because there's not as much retail anymore. I'm being open-minded to you. This is, if it was the top, it would look somewhat like this. So you can't, that's eerie, right? But that's just the truth. Now, I go by the pi cycle. We never got the green and red to pass. And I'm going to talk about that probably tonight. So if you want to tune in and see what I'm saying about the pi cycle top, we're going to break down tonight. All right. 1.16 billion liquidity at 100,002 currently. Could be a nice pullback. Yeah. Rumor has it Saylor buying $1 billion today. That's not that much. All right. What do you think about me? I don't know. I don't think about it, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, though. Yeah. Hope you have good fun thinking about it. Okay, so the weekly. Definitely a bearish div could be pulling back. Now, and if it pulls back, it could pull back to the trend line. Talking 93K, right? Somewhere in here, and you could even go lower, maybe 89,000. And that's definitely looks like a double top to me. But imagine selling and it rips. I don't know. Bitcoin did pretty good. It got way higher than it used to. Just like, I got mixed signals here. I like this to have moved up a little bit more and then started to make, but at the same time, it hasn't lost its support. We haven't lost the 4 hour 200 MA. Like, we can't get overly bearish until the time is right. Even if we're getting the most bearish signals in the world, we got to take it one step at a time. I mean, whoever shorted the top's in the money, though, right? You can't say they're not. Are they about to lose it all, and is it going to come back on them? Or are they going to continue to flush these people to the downside? I mean, BOOKMAP says we're getting a dump today, down to 102K. The deepest red is where we go. It's just, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. It's not 100%. I've seen this happen, and we go the other way. So, but if you just zoom out and look at the deepest bar of liquidity, it says 102.5 is the time, is the place, 102.165. Yeah. I mean, there was bearish div right here, and it did play out. So I'm expecting sideways. Fine. The bearish divergence at least is as strong as support as resistance. That's what I've learned. If you're in a very strong, uptrend, you'll have bearish div, right? But it'll only bounce. If you're in a very strong downtrend, I've seen this many times. You're in a nasty downtrend. The weekly's going like this, right? Price action, you're getting bullish div. And price will pump, but it'll pump like up to here, get rejected, and then dump again. Like the divergence will only give you as far as the support and resistance. People say it didn't work, but they didn't realize it did work. It's support and resistance wins. So the most important thing is to keep that support and resistance. Never forget about your support and resistance. So it's very, very important. I mean, so that's definitely a trend line for Bitcoin. It would be nice if it hit it more sideways, like it did it, like it could hit it like this, right? Or maybe in an uptrend it hits it, which keeps above 98.5. Anyway, so still in an uptrend, higher highs. You expect a higher low right now. But see, I mean, you have to say it does look a lot like a top. I got to be honest with everybody. It does. If we lose that 4-hour 200 MA, I would start to get a little more bearish. And then if things start to cascade further down, like the 8-hour 200, we lose the 8-hour 200, that's when you'll see me, see right last time we did it here, and you'll see me start to talk a bunch of nonsense, and then I'll say we're bearish until we get back above the 8-hour 200, and then we'll be back to Sammy's bear city yet again. All right. So the drill. Weekly, 5-day, possibly getting a bounce. See the 5-day looking interesting here. That closes in 3 days and 10 hours. The 3-day also possibly bouncing, and it takes us to the daily, which looks nice. So the daily has this, what looks to me is breaking out of a falling wedge. So they got everybody super bearish and freaking out, and that's usually when they can get a bunch of shorts to get wrecked, right? So you don't want to follow the herd, you want to follow the charts. A lot of big money is short too, all right? A lot of big money is short right now. Just something to think about. So if they were to flush this price up, they would make the most money. Who is they? I guess the market makers, whoever controls the world liquidity and really somehow has the in on when the money comes and goes. But look, I mean, that's a daily breakout right there. Beautiful daily breakout, 104,736. And again, this would be buying the breakout. But even opening up a trade here and letting that thing rip, as simple as that looks, ended up being a beautiful trade there. Still, it's like a 2.5 risk-reward ratio unless you try to get to the top. But it's likely this will be and there's a gap in the VRVP back up to 109. This thing could rip at least up to here to 107.5 and 109,000. Heck, we could go all the way back to the top. So the daily looks beautiful. You see it? And I believe a lifer pointed this out, and at first I was like, But let's take a look. What I'm really looking at, too, we go from like right here. It almost hits, but it doesn't. See, if that middle part hit, then you couldn't call it divergence. But that's definitely a downtrend, and that's an uptrend there. By golly, GOMI, that's hidden bullish divergence. You see? And we even pulled the fib from the wick here to the top. And you can see how we're bouncing right off the 786. See, 786, the line right there, and it literally wicking exactly. And that's from this wick to that wick. And we're bouncing off the 786 fib. I mean, pretty crazy. So we got the dump. It usually creates enough people to get scared. And there's enough liquidity above us to possibly get a move back to the upside off of this hidden bullish divergence, Fibonacci retracement. So I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. And it tells me there's a good long, right, on this 4-hour time frame. And you can see this Sammy cup and handy going on. And you can say fake out, break back inside, broke out, came down, possibly like a retest, and then got this flush. It is the weekend, though. Weekend trading is always sketchy. I don't know how I was able to pull off the win last night. I stayed strong to my strategy and, into the 200 MA. I mean, that 4-hour suggests that we could get a nicer move further up, too, as well. Grab the wrong piece. Get that white. There you go. That sends it up to about 106,000 for Bitcoin. Not amazing. There's a lot of resistance right here. Look, that measured move takes you exactly to that resistance. So now you're like, okay, the 4-hour could move. Now you need to see the 1-hour time frame show you a sign of doing that. Again, weekend trading, so treachery. After last night's win, I think I should kind of keep my foot off the pedal. I used there were some big trades, so. And some days I always wonder how it happens. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Crypto Princess. Don G. Dangler. Greg Novak in the house. Shout out to Po Man. And shout out to Danny G. Remember Danny Setters? Last night I woke up. Danny Setters. Super chat. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about Danny Setters. Danny Setters. So can this move up here to, we got 104,891. Can we get a move all the way up here to about 106,377 for Bitcoin? That's the key level that we would be looking at for BTC to get to. We take a look at the 15-minute too, and there's resistance right here at 104,945. So that's going to be your next level on the 15. Cool thing is the 15 broke above what? The 200 MA. So what are we looking for? We're looking for Flag Nation. Get it? Stagnation, Flag Nation. Hey, they laugh at me. If you guys won't laugh at me, I'll find a digital group of fake people that don't exist to laugh at me. All right? And you know what? My mind won't know the difference. So, hey. So can the 15-minute get all the way up here to 105,800? I believe it may if the 21 comes into play here. Looks like we're about to get a golden cross here on the 15-minute time frame. You see that 50 about to cross the 200 MA. So there's incentive for possibilities of a move. Kind of a slanted Adam and Eve if you take a look-see too as well. It's got some Adam and Eve vibes that could break to the upside, no? For me, it looks pretty spot on. So, yeah, I see some type of short squeeze, possible reversal. At the same time, I'm not in love with Saturdays. They're not amazing, and I'm not really sure what could happen. So when we think about it, someone's like, Sam, I'm confirming that that's funny. So look, someone has confirmed that I'm funny. He said, Sam, that is funny. So you've heard it here first. If one person laughed, then I'm funny. All right. All right. My mother always said I was funny, all right? She told me, don't let anyone tell you you're not funny, Sam. I know, Ma. I love you, Ma. They're not laughing at you. They're laughing with you, Sam. I know, Ma. I know. Oh, man. So can we get that move further up? Only time will tell. I would watch the 15-minute time frame for some sideways price action if you really want to watch what Bitcoin's going to do. If not, you could hang out with your family and kids and just walk, just not really look at the charts. Maybe just once an hour, take a peek and see if kind of, that's what I do. I make projections and I check on them once an hour. You know what I mean? You don't have to stare at it every day. That's a couple times. And you're there. And you'll make it. Today isn't Saturday. No, it's Sunday. Yeah, but it's all the same to me. I live the same day in a loop. So, yeah. Really doesn't, to me, it's just a day. It's another day. It's another day. 15-minute looks interesting. Sideways price action. 21 crossing the 200 MA. I should go shine. We might get a bit of a move here, huh? Yeah, on the day of my daughter's wedding, you come to me and you ask me, how come you never seen? How come you ever come to me anytime? Only now, when you have a problem. You come to and you ask me something. Look up, present. We missed you, princess. All it's please is rebound coming in June. Honestly, the altcoins need that desperate bounce off total 3. And that's really what we're looking for. We need a desperate bounce off total 3. I would watch this 5-minute time frame right now too, in the 15-minute, see what we can get. There's a chance that this goes sideways and we do get a pump for Bitcoin. Not saying it's going to be the reversal of everything and it's going to create everything, but for now, for today, like I take things one step at a time, everyone. Life for me has been a crazy ride. Like if you told me that my YouTube channel and everything, I love when people get jealous of me, because the funniest thing about it is I tell them, I was like, but I didn't even know what was going to happen to me. Like you could get jealous if I was born into it and it just everything went my way. But like, how could you get jealous? Like I started the channel and for 2 years, 3 years, no one even watched it. Like I had no idea anything was going to happen. Like I had no clue. How could you get jealous of someone that didn't even know anything that they did? You know what I mean? I was just a young guy trying to do right by my life in America and see if I could change the world one day at a time with my YouTube channel. I just had an optimistic view of the world and believed that if I tried as hard as I could and I disciplined myself, I got a good mentor, I found something I love to do, that I could prosper. And while I prospered, I could help others. And I had this vision of a type of business that was always there. I could help others while I did it. So I could make my, everyone wants an entrepreneur. Who doesn't? We grew up in America. You grow up, wow, look at that pump. I attempted to make some sense of this, but this thing is gone. Look at this thing. Gone, baby, gone. I'm going to clean it up, but that was a crazy pump right there. They just squeezed some more shorts. It seems a little fake though, huh? Right? You got some bearish div there. Might be the beginning of a beautiful short, to be honest. I am no longer short right now. I'm just, wow. Watching the weekend volatility, especially on a Sunday. It's going to get crazy. I made my money last night. Smart of me to stay out the market, count my shekels, and begin to build anew, If somehow, some way we defy the divergence, we could make some very strange, but that looks like it's going to dump right back. I mean, look, you can even see a head and shoulder in there. I call this the devil ear pattern. I've seen it more than ever now. You see the devil's ears. So it's devil's ears, man. Cat ears, devil's ears. Oh, that looks so nice. Babe, you're really beautiful, huh? Oh my gosh. I just saw you. You ever look at your significant other and for a second you see them almost like someone you've never met? Does that ever happen to you? But you just look like somebody that I used to know. Man, it unpositive getting him. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's horrible. Someone that I used to know. That's horrible, right? I saw it was the song, but now I realize they put a spell on us, man. Don't never sell that song. Never sing that song again. I like the song. It's a good song, but I don't know, man. Now I'm like, I just got the heebie-jeebies, you know what I mean? I do like the song, though. Somebody that I used to know. Wow, so this is crazy. Only I would be able to find some sense in this spaghetti here. Because I know that 15 minutes coming back to that 21, and it's okay. Golden Cross, everything looks okay. I was surprised by the pump because I was expecting sideways price action. I was like, why are we going to just out of nowhere pump like that? I was like, that's crazy. Can we defy the bearish div and hold it down? Wow. Crazy time to be alive. So you have to really, if you want to trade today, you're going to have to sit in front of your screens, stand up desk or sit down and really get into it. And just sit there and get into it. Right? Because if not, you're going to miss a moment, huh? Today's one of those days. Crazy. That's bearish div. I would expect to dump further to the downside here. So I would get out of the small time frame, specifically on the weekend. I'd head on to that 15, and like we said, I would just be watching the 15 and seeing what type of flag it makes back to the 21-day moving average. And it looks like maybe in an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 tops, the 21 may be interacting. The stochastics could be resetting, and we may have ourselves a nice little Sammy cup and handy to the upside for a move to somewhere about $105,800, $106,000 BTC. All right. So I'm looking for a possible flag that could pump us, give us a little bit of a move. But remember, BOOKMAP suggests no way. It suggests deep diving back down to 102.5. Again, we'll have to lose, the 200, even the 21 here on the 15. Things will have to happen. We'll have to lose the 200 on the 15. If that happens, fine. I'll concede, and I'll flip short. But the 15-minute seems to be the guide today to the truth. And so I'm going to use that. That will be my watchful eye here. That will be Jon Snow on the wall, the 15-minute. It'll be watching for you all night long. Okay? So that's the one you want to pay attention to as far as I'm concerned. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And back to that 21-day moving average on that 15. Don't get caught up in these little pumps on the weekend. Be careful. All right, everyone. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. Hope you have a wonderful morning with your family and you enjoy yourselves. I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. Remember, the weekend streams just come on whenever they come on. They have the morning ones. At night, they're at 8 p.m. All right, so they're called impromptu streams. I just kind of jump in when I can because there's so much going on the weekends. I don't want to have to really set myself to a certain time. And I like to be around with a pump. So if I see a pump at 9:10 or something happening, I jump in. If I see a pump at 7 in the morning, I jump in. It just depends on the day. All right. I love each and every one of you. I thank you so much for being here. Remember, I made almost $3,000 in about 2 hours last night. I can teach you how I did it if you join my trading group and you're with me all the time. I can't be live every single second of the day. Understand? And I was even live last night, but then I got off the live and I started looking at the price action. And things just happen when we're in that group. And no matter what I think I'm going to do, I'm like, I'm going to take the night off. Next, I traded till 1:30 in the morning. I was going to get in the jacuzzi at 11 o'clock last night, 10 o'clock. I traded till 1:30 in the morning, made 3 racks, and then I got in the jacuzzi, went to sleep at about, 2:30. And I should have went to bed earlier, I know. It's that trade life. I can't get enough, and it's crazy for me. But I'm a crypto lifer, man. I can't stop. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me every single day. Thank you for kicking it with me in the trading group. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. God bless. Thank you so much for everything. Oh, tonight, actually, sorry, for the weekly candle close. But thank you so much for everything. I'll see you guys all today, Junior. I'll see you guys all tonight. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Be safe. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. What are you going to start today that's going to change your life? Something's got to change. If you want to see the change, you must be it. I know you got this.